Hello and welcome to another holiday episode of Tiffany Knopow's Krafty Kitchen Table, brought to you by the Sharon Lynn Wilson Center for the Arts in Brookfield. Today I have a wonderful helper. Her name is, do you want me to say it? Okay, her name is Hazel, and she is going to help me show you this really fun and easy craft. It is a little shiny Christmas tree. So you have some options today. You can either have it just a shiny, beautiful silver tree, or you can color it in, or you can add a star too. So to get started, we'll need some supplies. We'll of course need some cardboard. Thank you, Hazel. We'll need some scissors. We'll need some glue of sorts. So either some Elmer's glue, or if you have one of these wonderful hot glue guns, this would be the easiest and the fastest. If you don't have a hot glue gun, then you're going to need some yarn or some string, jute, something that's yarny. And then we're going to need some tin foil. And last but not least, if you want to make your tree colorful, you'll need some permanent markers in different colors. And you can choose the colors you wish. If you don't have permanent markers, you can also use some paint, acrylic paint, or kids paint that's acrylic as well. Some water-based washable paint would be great. The other thing you'd want to do is also protect your surface. Today we're going to be using glue and permanent markers. So I have down this nice blue tablecloth from actually a birthday party. Was it from your birthday party maybe, left over? I don't remember. So have something to protect your table. So let's get going. So to get started, we're going to need to use our scissors to cut out some triangle shapes in our cardboard. So I've cut some out already, but just to give you an idea, you can just start at the bottom here and just make one cut up and another cut up with your big scissors. If you have somebody who's little, you might need a little bit of help. You might need to give them a little bit of help. If you have a little bit older artist that you're working with, they might be able to use a larger scissors by themselves. Now, I'm just using this nice triangle shape because it's easy to cut out and it's a nice generic shape. But if you wanted to, you could make your decoration in any shape you wanted. You can make it a star, you can make it a heart, you could make it anything that you wish. All right, but I would suggest when you're working with cardboard to peel off any tape. So I have some packing tape here on my cardboard. So I'm just going to peel it off so you don't have that, because it will cause some problems later. Okay, once you have your shape ready and you got it all cut out, Hazel, do you have your shape? Yeah? Okay, we're going to decide what kind of design we want to put on our lovely tree. So I have some designs that are line based. So this one has just some lines on it. This one does as well. And this one has a swirly whirly line. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that one? And then I have some other designs that have sort of like dots, kind of like ornaments. So you can decide which one you might want to do. So Hazel, what one do you want to do today?
I want to do one with like that.
Like this one? Okay, so the line one. Okay, so Hazel, can you draw some lines with a marker on your cardboard? So I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. Hazel is going to draw some lines, and I'm going to use some hot glue to make the lines raised. That's how you get this really interesting texture. I'll also show you how to make this work if you don't have a hot glue gun, because I know some of you don't have hot glue guns. So while she's drawing a line, I'm going to draw some lines for my non-hot glue gun decoration here. So I'm just drawing them so you can see them better. All right, so I drew some lines on my cardboard, and now I'm going to use my glue, my Elmer's glue. This is, again, if you don't have a hot glue gun, and I'm going to follow those lines with my glue. So I'm just following them, and I have this glitter glue left over from some of our slime experiments. So this is a nice glue. I like it. It's a little thicker. The gel glues are a little thicker, so they kind of stick up a little bit more, which is helpful when we're doing this.
Mom.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Here, I'm just going to put the special yarn on, and then I'll put the hot glue on yours, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold this up. You want to use that? Okay. So what I did is I just glued up my tree, and then I'm just gonna stick my yarn over the top of this. Now, if you wanted to, you could like submerge your yarn in the glue, get it all goopy, and put it on, but I think sometimes that can be a little messy, and it can take a little extra time. So what I like to do is just get these on here, and I'm putting my yarn right over the top of those lines, which is really convenient. I can just give them these little snips, and I can keep rolling. Now, if you're using some Elmer's glue or whatever school glue you have, you are going to have to let this dry overnight. So that's the only downside to using the Elmer's glue, is that you do have to have a little bit more patience. And then,
One night.
yeah, good job. So I've got mine all glued up, and then what I like to do is also just run a little line of glue over the top of my yarn, just to get it a little more, give it a little bit more crunch, a little bit more body. So that way when we put the tinfoil over it, it really stands up.
Mommy.
Good job. I'm so proud of you. You're doing a good job with the gluing. Now, this is a good project for any age. My son made one not too long ago. He is at school right now, but you can do these with any age of kids. And you should do them yourself too. So I've glued underneath, I've put a piece of yarn over top, and then I've put a little bit of glue on the top. Now I'm gonna set this aside and let this dry overnight or until it's completely dry. I do have one that is already ready, so we can work on that in just a moment. Now if you have a hot glue gun, you can make this project go a little bit faster. So all you're gonna do is use your hot glue gun, make sure you have a couple extra glue sticks hanging out, and then you can glue whatever design you like. So I'll do one just with some dots, and actually I'll draw the dots on so you can see them. Since the glue is a little see-through, it'll be hard for you to see them. So you don't have to draw the dots on if you don't want to, but I'm just doing it to help out. Now again, this hot glue is really hot, so if you have an artist that you're working with, your son or daughter or grandson or granddaughter, that knows how to use a hot glue gun and can be safe, feel free to let them do so. But you know, again, the hot glue can burn your fingers, so please use caution while you are completing this project. So there we go, that one's all glued up. And then I'll just quickly do one more with some line work on it. Maybe I'll do like a swirly whirly just to give you an idea of what that looks like. So we'll just make a nice swirl on this one. All right, so it's just like a little twister. And then I'll glue on that. Hazel, you're doing a great job putting glue on all those lines. Practicing so many good skills, right? Do you like gluing, Hazel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to put yarn over the top now. Do you think you can do that? No, you want to let that one dry? Okay, that's fine. All right, so.
I mean, I want to.
Do you want to borrow this one to make the next step? You can if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that has to dry overnight. Remember, we can't work on it right now. We have to let it dry. All right, so I've made my swirly whirly here with some hot glue. Being careful to not glue my fingers. I'm going to let this one just dry up for 1 second. Just needs to get cooled down. And then we can start working on the next step. Almost done, sweetie? Mm-hmm. All right. I'll get you some tinfoil cut, okay, while you're finishing. So this is sort of the base, and we're going to cover it with some tinfoil right now. So we just want to cut a piece of tinfoil that's just a little bit bigger so that we can wrap it around the back side so it looks nice. So this is a little loud, I'm sorry. So rip off tinfoil, 1, 2, and I'll do one more just for fun. 3, and get those ready to go. And then, bye-bye, good job. Here, I'm gonna take yours and put it over here to dry, okay? You did a great job. Oops.
I want to put the sign on.
Yeah, you can. I'll show you. You can borrow one of mine. You want one with lines or one with dots?
No, stop.
Dots. Okay. So we're going to take our tin foil and put it so the shiny side is touching the table. You want a line one?
Yeah.
You can go ahead, take this one then. This one has a yarn on it. So right now I've already pre-made this one, so we're ready to go. This isn't the one I just made. This one I made last night so it could dry. But we have an extra one. Do you want to do one with a texture on it? Here, how about I switch you? Here, we'll save that one for later.
No, I don't want to do that.
Oh, okay. Then you can work on that one then. So I'll show you how to do this one with the lines. All right. So we're gonna put it on the not so shiny part of our tin foil, and we're gonna get a little bit of our glue, and we're gonna apply a little bit of glue to the cardboard, and just kind of all over the place. We want it just to kind of have a little bit of glue on there so it'll stick when we start smushing the tin foil into all of these bumpy spots.
I need this dark blue one. I'm going to pretend it flat.
Okay. All right, so now we're gonna take our tree and stick it with the gluey side down so it's touching the not so shiny part of the tin foil. Now I'm gonna be very gentle and flip it over, and then I'm gonna start at the top, and I'm gonna start to use my fingers, hopefully not fingernails though, because they can poke some holes, and just work my fingers in between all of these lines of yarn. So you can, good job, you made some dots on yours. So you can kind of push it in and kind of get it to form around all of these really cool textures that you made with the yarn or the hot glue. So I'm going to show you mine in just a second. It's turning out to be really cool. I like it a lot. These sharp lines look really neat. Okay, so I've kind of pushed it around the lines so you can see that it kind of forms this interesting texture. So you can see all the angular lines, and you can kind of see the outside edge of the tree. So now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to work on the back side and just fold it over a little bit. And then I can see that I have way too much of this tin foil. So I'm going to use my scissors and just cut this part up. Now if you're using a hot glue gun, you can just use a little bit of your hot glue gun, of your glue from your hot glue gun I should say, and then you can just glue the back on. If you're using some of your glue from a squeezy bottle, you can do the same thing. So I think I'm going to use a little hot glue. Remember, the hot glue is really hot and the tin foil conducts heat. So just be really careful when you do this because it can be kind of warm. It's warm, which is fine for me because I always have cold hands, so I'm into it. Okay, so then I folded one side and glued it down. Now I'm going to fold the other side, and then I'm going to cut this extra flap off because it's kind of sticking out. So I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to glue down this side. Again, remember, if you're using hot glue, it is very hot. So please be careful, and if you're working with a little, make sure that you are doing the hot gluing. Ooh, that rhymed. All right, and then I'm going to cut the bottom off and fold it up. Once I fold it up, I can see that I need to cut up these little bits as well. So I'll cut those off. Nice.
I'm going to put some glue on top of the dot.
Go for it. Okay, so I'm going to glue the bottom up. 1, 2, 3. And remember, hot glue is hot. Be careful, be careful. And I'm done. So if you wanted to, you could be finished right here. If you don't have any Sharpies, this is a great place to finish, and it looks really beautiful. If you do have some Sharpie markers, or if you have some paint, you can start to add some color to your tree. So I'll show you how to do that really quickly. This is a pretty quick little project, so you can get done with this in just a couple minutes. So I'm going to take my Sharpie marker, and then I'm going to color inside like the divot, inside this area right here. So that way the place where the yarn was is still going to be silver. So I'm just going to quickly give this a little bit of color, and I kind of like how this looks because the silver of the tinfoil still kind of shines through the marker. So it's like you have a metallic purple or a metallic chartreuse or a metallic pink. It's really cool. And I'm just going to color this in a whole entire bold color stripe. If you wanted to, you could put like little dots or decorations or whatever you wish on your tree. Now remember, this is just an idea of what you could do. If you don't want to make your Christmas tree, you could choose any shape. You just would have to cut it out. And if you have an X-Acto knife or utility knife, you can cut out some more complicated shapes while you work. So you can make this ornament or decoration or whatever you wish to call this. You can make it any shape you want. So I have just a couple more little spaces here. I'm getting close to finishing up. This is such a fun little quick project that you can do maybe on a day that's cold. You are going a little slower, but that's okay too, right? It's okay. We'll catch up later. No worries. I know that we can do this again at a different time, right? All right, I have just a couple more little spots here to color in. Looking very festive and very shiny. How are you doing? Good. All right. Well, look at this. I'm done. All right. So I finished up my ornament. Now the only thing left is to decide how you wish to hang it. So if you want to make this something that you can hang on your holiday tree, Christmas tree, right now would be a good time to add. Oh look, you did. You glued it on. Good job, Hazel.
Hold on.
Good job.
Can I make another one?
You can, here. We only have these left over. If you want, you can draw the back side.
Okay.
So to make a loop for your ornament, you can just take a piece of yarn. And if you want to, you can just glue this right on the back. Sometimes I like to tie a knot. So I tie a knot over my finger and then pull it through like that. So it's kind of the loop. And then with your hot glue gun, you can quickly just glue a dot, put a big dot of glue on there, and very carefully glue it on. So if you don't have a hot glue gun, you can just use some of your Elmer's glue, but you'll have to wait until overnight so it dries so you can hang it. Otherwise it'll just slip off. So I think that's it. Hazel, I've had a great time making this fun and easy ornament with you. I hope that you all have a great holiday season. And I hope that you visit the Sharon Lynn Wilson Center for the Arts webpage to see what offerings they have for concerts, for classes, and for other activities in Brookfield. Happy holidays.